I was shocked when I first opened the Red Cross emergency instructions. Not because of the list, but because I was missing things at home. And then I understood something that scared me. Every calamity happens the same way. People freak out and rush to the stores, and in a few hours the shelves are empty. By the time most families try to prepare, it's already too late. That's why I'm telling you about the 17 important survival items that the Red Cross recommends every home should have on hand right now, before the next disaster shows how unprepared most people truly are. You might not have thought about any of these things before, but they could be the difference between comfort and turmoil, or even life and death. Let's start with the first thing, pills that clean water. Now when something bad happens, everyone goes directly for bottled water. But the truth is that bottled water is gone from store shelves in a few hours. The clever people who lived, they depend on tablets that clean things. Think of anything smaller than a deck of cards that can make 25 gallons of unclean hazardous water safe to drink. These small tablets can achieve that. People don't know that it's not simply hurricanes, earthquakes and floods that put lives at risk during disasters. After then, the water gets nasty. Waterborne diseases actually kill more individuals following disasters than the disasters themselves. That's why these pills are worth more than gold when the water stops running. You can get safe drinking water in about 30 minutes by dropping one pill into rainwater, river water, or even swimming pool water. And here's something that might surprise you. These tablets can survive for 5 years or more if they are stored correctly. So by buying just one tiny pack today, you can keep your family safe for years to come. Families that had purification tablets during Hurricane Katrina were well and hydrated, but others got sick and dehydrated. Everyone in the family can fit these tablets in their emergency kit, so everyone has their own supply of safe water. The most essential thing is that bottled water goes away in a day, whereas purification tablets open up the billions of gallons of water that are already around us. When your life is on the line, going from being dependent on water to being independent of it changes everything. Next, let's talk about the second most important thing, powdered milk. You might not think of this as a survival gear, but experts say it's one of the best emergency foods you can have. Fresh milk goes bad in a few days, but powdered milk can last for up to 20 years if you store it well. That means a good source of calcium, protein, and vitamin D long after grocery shops close and refrigerated trucks stop bringing food. But here's the true value. Powdered milk isn't simply food, it's also comfort. When everything else seems out of control, being able to give kids a warm glass of milk, cook pancakes in the morning, or stir it into oatmeal, might help them feel like things are normal. You can make almost a gallon of milk with just 1 pound of powdered milk. That's not only easy to use, but it's also really useful. You can use it to make soups thicker, add protein to baked items, or even trade it with your neighbors when you run out of supplies. In fact, powdered milk often becomes a valuable trading item during long-term crises. Nutritionists typically advise that people who don't get enough calcium during a crisis can get muscle cramps, weak bones, and even insomnia, all of which make it even tougher to stay alive. That's why powdered milk isn't simply nourishment, it's a way to stay alive without anyone knowing it. Let's move on to the next important things that can save your life. A manual can opener is number 3. It may seem simple, but without it, all of your food could go bad. Think about it, you may have shelves full of canned goods that could feed your family for months. When the power goes out though, that electronic opener on your counter is just a useless piece of junk. And those that run on batteries, they will use up your supply long before you need it the most. There are hundreds of metal cans left that you can't even open. Rescue personnel say they've seen it over and over again, families using knives, rocks, and even slamming cans against concrete to get food. That not only wastes valuable calories, but it also often makes the meal dirty or hurts people badly. And if you don't get medical help right once, a serious cut on your hand might become life-threatening. That's why a strong manual opener is worth its weight in gold. It's light, works every time, and never breaks. Military-grade models like the well-known P38 or P51 are small enough to fit on a keychain, but strong enough to survive a lifetime. The brightest survivors don't just have one, they have a lot. One in the kitchen, one in the car, one in the emergency bag, and several extra ones to trade. Believe me, in a long crisis, a can opener could be worth more than money. Now number 4 is rice. For thousands of years this grain has been the food that kept people alive. There are around 30,000 calories in one 20-pound bag. That should be enough to keep one person alive for 2 weeks or feed a family of 4 for a few days. And the best news is that white rice can survive up to 30 years if you keep it in airtight containers. That makes it one of the best long-term investments you can make for your survival. Rice is not only filling, but it is also easy on the stomach and can be used in many ways. It doesn't have gluten in it, has important B vitamins, and can be cooked in a lot of different ways. You can boil it, steam it, fry it, or even soak it in cold water until it is soft enough to eat if you don't have any fuel. And don't throw away the water from the rice. That starchy liquid can help someone who is dehydrated or has diarrhea get their fluids back. This can truly save lives when doctors aren't present. But a lot of individuals make the mistake of keeping brown rice. The oils in it make it go bad in less than 6 months, even if it's healthier. Experts say that you should store at least 50 pounds of white rice per person because it can endure for decades. It's not simply food, it's a way to stay alive. Now we come to number 5. Batteries. When the power goes out, batteries are what keep modern life from becoming completely dark. And it's not just about having light, it's about staying safe, sane, and alive. When things go wrong, dark places are scary. It makes everything tougher, causes more mishaps, and makes people panic, especially kids. A basic LED light that runs on batteries can alleviate your fears and provide you light for weeks with just one set of batteries. But not all batteries are the same. Alkaline batteries endure roughly 5 to 7 years, whereas lithium batteries can last 10 to 15 years in storage. When you buy things years in advance, that difference is important. And it's not only flashlights that matter. Batteries power radios for emergency broadcasts, medical devices like diabetes monitors and hearing aids, and more. If you run out, a problem that is easy to handle can soon develop into a life or death emergency. The smartest people who are getting ready for the worst keep track of all the electronics in their homes and have at least 3 times as many batteries as they need. And here's another survival tip. Batteries are one of the most sought-after things for trade during protracted blackouts. People will give you food, supplies, and even tools in exchange for a few packs of LA batteries. If you have extras, you'll have more than simply light, you'll have power in more than one way. One of the most important but often forgotten components of survival is number 6, first aid supplies and prescription drugs. A lot of people are shocked to learn that most minor injuries can become deadly in a tragedy. When doctors, medicine, and clean hospitals are no longer available, a little cut, a twisted ankle, or even a fever that would typically be treated with a short trip to the drugstore can become life-threatening. That's why your first aid kit needs to have more than simply a few bandages. You could call it a small emergency room. Put sterile gauze, trauma shears, thermometers, surgical tape, and antibiotic ointments in it. To avoid serious dehydration, give them pain relievers, fever reducers, antihistamines for allergies, and anti-diarrheal medicine. Each of these things could make the difference between getting better and having a disaster. What about medicines that you get with a prescription? That's when planning becomes very important. There is no alternative drug that can replace insulin, heart medication, antidepressants, or any other treatment that keeps people alive. Experts say you should attempt to keep at least a 90-day supply on hand and always use the oldest stock first. You may have to talk to your doctor a few times, but many of them will help if you show them a solid strategy for being ready. And here's something that a lot of people forget: knowing things is just as vital as having them. If you have a waterproof first aid manual and know how to do basic things like CPR or wound treatment, your supplies could save your life when the internet and emergency services are down. Your knowledge is the best remedy when things go wrong. Peanut butter is next on the list, number 7. This jar may seem basic, but it's virtually a miraculous food when you need to survive. Peanut butter has a lot of protein, good fats, and more than 6,000 calories in one jar. An adult can live for 3 days on just peanut butter. It doesn't need to be refrigerated, cooked, or have water added to it, unlike meat or dairy. You just open the jar and eat. Peanut butter's strength isn't only physical, it's also mental. When you're scared and things are going wrong, familiar meals can help. A tablespoon of peanut butter can make people feel better, calm them down, and get them to eat when they might not want to consume survival food. It makes basic rice, cereal, or crackers into meals that taste like normal food again. And here's the kicker: jars that haven't been opened can persist for years after their expiration date. And even opened jars can stay safe for months without being kept cold. That means peanut butter is not only a good food to have on hand, but it's also a strong food that doesn't go bad. Families that are smart keep jars in multiple places, such as the pantry, the emergency bag, and the car, so they can get the one they need when they need it. Number 8 is dried beans and legumes. Rice is the best grain for survival, and beans are the best partner for it. Beans and rice have kept whole civilizations alive through wars and famines for thousands of years. Why? They make a complete protein when you put them together, which is what your body needs to keep strong when you can't consume meat. When cooked, 1 pound of dried beans turns into 6 cups, which means they can make your food last a long time. They have a lot of fiber, which helps your digestive system work well when you don't eat much. They have a lot of iron to keep you from getting anemia, folate to keep your immune system robust, and slow-release carbs that give you continuous energy instead of sugar spikes that make stress and anxiety worse. And here's the amazing part, most canned foods go bad after a time, but dried beans that are stored correctly can endure for decades. In fact, a lot of experts suggest they get better with age, since they cook faster and are simpler to digest as they get older. That means that the beans you buy now could still be keeping your family alive 20 years from now. The smartest preppers keep a lot of different foods on hand, like black beans, lentils, chickpeas, and kidney beans. This is not just for nourishment, but also to keep their appetites from getting tired. Trust me, after weeks of eating the same thing, variety isn't a luxury, it's a must. 9. Candles and flashlights. When something bad happens, the gloom isn't simply annoying, it's scary. Think about how quiet and dark your whole neighborhood would be. No lights on the street, the city doesn't gleam, just black all the time. That's when light stops being a luxury and starts becoming a lifeline. LED flashlights of today have radically transformed the game. A single set of batteries may now offer you hundreds of hours of brilliant light. But here's the problem, batteries run out eventually if you only use them. Candles are still just as vital now as they were for our grandmothers. They never need to be charged, they can be stored for a long time, and in many circumstances, they can burn for days at a time. When things go wrong, light does more than let you see. It protects you from falling and getting hurt. It enables you keep working when the sun goes down, when every hour counts. It even keeps your thoughts safe. When it stays dark for a long time, your body's normal rhythm gets messed up, which can make you feel confused, sad, and tired. A flashlight or candle's illumination can turn absolute fear into tranquility for kids. But not all lights are the same. Headlamps let you work on repairs or cook without using your hands. Lanterns can light up a whole room, making it easier for families to be together at night. Tactical flashlights are also great for self-defense, because they include strong strobe lights. Glow sticks can also help keep you safe while you're near flammable things. In a real emergency, each choice has its time. People don't always realize how important it is to choose the appropriate kind of candle. When windows can't be opened, beeswax and soy candles burn longer and cleaner than inexpensive paraffin candles. This cuts down on smoke and indoor air pollution. Tea lights let you control how much fuel you use by just burning little amounts at a time, while jar candles lower the chance of fire. And candles that are good for survival. Some last for more than 100 hours. That candle will give you light for weeks. Let's go on to number 10, seeds and nuts. They are one of the most powerful survival meals on Earth, when packed into little containers. Almonds have the same amount of protein as an egg, in just 1 ounce. They don't need to be kept in the fridge like eggs do. Nuts and seeds are a must-have for survival, because they are good for you and last a long time. They're not simply food for the body, they're also food for life. Nuts are a good source of healthy fats that help keep hormones in check, which is very important when your body is under a lot of stress. They also help the body take in fat-soluble vitamins from other foods, which means that every calorie counts. Walnuts and flax seeds are high in omega-3s, which help reduce inflammation and improve mental clarity.